Hey y'all, my name is Karis and this is my Module 1 video. So, I picked my myth, my changing pattern, my theory, and then talked about the evolution of the TV family. I'm not gonna lie, I have some notes right here because I will forget. But, starting off for my myth, I chose happily married people don't have conflict, and the one thing that stuck out to me personally right away was that not only is conflict normal, but it actually strengthens relationships. A lot of people, and I also read this in the book, but most people often think that once they get into a healthy relationship, conflict is tearing the people apart. And so every time, let's say, because I'm in a relationship, I have a boyfriend, we've been together for almost 6 months. Let's say I get into an argument with my boyfriend, and if I thought that every single time we got into an argument or a disagreement that it was drawing us apart from each other in the relationship, that would just cause more issues. That's why communication is so important, and also realizing that disagreements actually do strengthen couples, because if we were to agree on the same things all the time, I think it'd be boring and we just wouldn't really get anywhere. And something that I wrote down that I quoted was, happily ever after then does not mean with never a difference, with never a difference or disagreement. And so it's just saying, like, the quote, happily ever after, meaning like till death do us part, that doesn't mean that differences nor disagreements are going to come up. So for my changing pattern, I wrote premarital sex. The reason why this one stuck out to me personally is because this was so uncommon in the 1960s and 70s, but it was still a thing. And I feel like it was honestly because of the Puritan phase, which is what it said in the textbook, but also because of religion. I grew up in a very conservative Christian household, and I was taught, like, there is no premarital sex. And it's a normal thing. People do it all the time. And definitely over the years it has been normalized, just as it did say in the textbook as well. And also it said that by the 1980s, proportion began to decline, meaning that it went from premarital sex up here to waiting to about, finding a middle ground, which is so normal now. And also by the time that high schoolers were 12th graders, most of them were having sex, especially if they were couples. For my theory, second to last, I picked the exchange theory. The reason why I picked this personally is because the exchange theory, I think, is so important. It weighs out the pros and cons in a relationship. And I'm going to give you an example for this. So let's say me and my boyfriend want to be better at dating each other. For reference, him and I are long distance in real life. We actually talked about this the other day, but we are both broke college students. We don't have a lot of money. So that's a con for dating, but the pro is that we still enjoy each other's company no matter what. So we are finding ways to do low budget dates while distanced from each other, and also when we're together, and realizing that even if it's just something like a movie date or a nap date or cooking a meal at home while on the phone together and then eating it together, those are low budget things that we can still do. And so in this instance, our pro, which is what's what I'm looking for, the reward outweighs the con, which is the cost of the relationship. And what most people do is they try to outweigh rewards and costs, and if the costs outweigh the rewards, that's when most relationships end, because someone, if not both people in the relationship, are not happy. So if the rewards are higher, you're probably doing a great job and you're probably with the right person. And this can also be in friendships and just close relationships with other people as well. And then finally, in the evolution of the TV family video that I watched, the thing that stuck out to me most about families changing in the media was how things went from stereotypical, I guess, standards in relationships, especially between like men and women, just in like older times versus now. Like things were way more traditional back then. It was like things were being said in the video like, oh, the women are meant to stay inside and cook and clean, whereas the men are to go out and work. And I even remember in the video, like, one of the boys asked his dad why his mom was always staying in the kitchen and cooking and cleaning. He was cooking outside. And then in another video, a boy was basically complaining, saying, like, Mom, your life is so easy. You don't have to go out and learn like I have to learn. It's like, now those were things that women wanted to do, but the standard was so set that we couldn't do those things, that we didn't. And so now in modern day, like, there are shows where not only is there more diversity, but there's more like families with just a lot of differences. Like the mom may run the house, or there's homosexual couples and this, that, and the third. But yeah, those are the things that stuck out to me. Sorry this was such a long video, but that's the end, and I hope you enjoy it.